Hello there. I swear to God if you say it.
Say what?
I know what you're gonna do.
What am I gonna do? You'll find out if you go to our TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyway. So something different for today's video. We're going to do our top. It's not numbered as far as like in a row or any of that stuff. But our top whiskey picks up till this point in filming.
Now, so we've done so many, so we figure we just
pick our favorites.
Yes.
Up to this point. So that way, because there's so many that's on our list, if it changes, the list can get smaller. But this is our list up until now.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do your whiskey list since yours is tiny.
Yeah, it is. I'm guessing for my number one, it will be the Haymaker.
Which is also on my list.
Because if you like Bojangles biscuits, this is practically what it tastes like.
Basically, yeah. The buttery goodness of a Bojangles biscuit. Mm-hmm. We actually found out about this at a podcast. Bourbon Pages podcast. And they had a bottle. And it was unanimous. Us, the entire rest of the crew, all said buttery Bojangles biscuits. So, I mean, it's...
I think we had Bojangles that day. Or was it a different time?
I was about to say we did Bojangles the time we went after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we couldn't help it but get a bottle.
Which is the last bottle in existence. Which is why we haven't touched it since we bought it.
Until they make more.
They're not, but yeah. Oh. It's literally batch 1 and their new batch. They said they're aging it longer. So, yeah. Unless it tastes like Bojangles biscuits but better, this is all that's left.
So we're just going to be very...
We're babying it.
Yes.
So is there anything on my side that you would put on your list since that's pretty much it for you? Or do you have... Well, never mind. Yeah, is there anything on my side?
I think probably the Old Crow.
Old Crow's on your list?
Yeah, for now. I mean, seriously, it's been a while.
I know this one you really, really liked when we did a video because you said it was very apple-y.
Oh, Old Taylor? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that one's on my list too.
Yeah, it was more like a Granny Smith apple.
That tasted good.
Was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be your number one.
Yep.
So your number one, what would be your number two?
I'm guessing Old Town.
Old Town?
Old Taylor, Old Crow.
Which one? Second.
Yep. And that.
So these were all his picks and daily drinkers.
Yep.
And then keep in mind, this is coming from a guy that does not drink whiskey. He's a rum guy.
But I'm growing. Slowly. But still.
But yeah, his picks so far.
And you never know, there might be one that will surprise me one day.
Well, that's why we do this thing. So we can figure that out.
And what will be yours?
So mine's going to be a lot bigger. None of mine are technically numbered just because I like bourbon and whiskey. So it's going to be a lot harder for me to sit here and narrow down what would be number one, number two, and all that. And a lot of them have different meanings and positions and reasons and all that. So I'm just going to go down the list and tell you as I go. I don't even know if I could pick a one. If I had to pick a number one as an overall, it'd be Benchmark. Just regular old Benchmark number 8. Just because...
It's what got you into it in the first place?
Yeah, this is what started me on my bourbon whiskey journey to begin with. It's funny. A couple of years ago, I used to YouTube everything back when I had a PlayStation hooked to my TV and could just pull up YouTube and watch videos all day. I googled best budget whiskeys, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Kentucky Brew Review that I found on YouTube reviewed this several times and said that was probably one of the best bottles you'll get under $20 for a fifth. And if I'm not mistaken, to this day, it's still $10 for this bottle. So I saw so many videos of them reviewing it and saying it was like the best that they had for that amount of money. And then, again, researched this and found other people saying it was great. So I had to run out and get a bottle. And it's been one of my favorite daily drinkers and mixers since. And since it got me into bourbon, if it wasn't for this bottle, not this specific bottle, I've had several since then, but if it wasn't for Benchmark, I wouldn't even be a bourbon drinker. So I guess I'm going to give that number one just for that, because if I'm not mistaken, it was your first introduction into bourbon too, because I got into it and I made you try it.
Oh, this stuff?
Yes.
Oh.
Way back at the campground.
Those memories.
Yep. You remember the days where, if I'm not mistaken, actually, when Eddie Van Halen died, I took you to the camper and we did shots of this in his memory.
That. Right.
Good old Benchmark. So Benchmark's been there for me since the beginning, and it's actually been there since the beginning for him. So, yeah, that's the main reason it's my number one, because if anybody I ever find is like, hey, I want to get into bourbon, whiskey, whatever, what do you recommend? What's a good cheap mixer or whatever? This is always going to be it. $10 for a fifth. Comes in a cool Jack Daniels style bottle. You can pretty well find it anywhere. They've got flavors. They've got all kinds of stuff. Now they have like a really cool proof lineup, which I can't find, but just a good old standard Benchmark number 8. It's always been there for me. So that's the number one for me on my list. Now, going down the list, let's see. Of course, this one's on my list. It's not numbered, just it's on my list. I think it's the main one that me and him both agree on, that we both love. If there were to be a review guy's whiskey, as far as we could put our name on or our face on or whatever, that we both enjoy, this would be it. And I really hate that there's no more of it, that they're not making it, that they're changing it, but absolutely amazing. Thank you to Bourbon and Badges for introducing us.
We salute you.
Yes, we salute you. If I was going to recommend something dirt cheap and like a pint or even a fifth, just because it's really good and it shocked me and Grim both.
Oh yeah, this one really was a definite surprise.
We bought this as a joke.
I mean, we think it was going to suck. It's not going to be that good, but when we
$2
first tried it,
pint.
just blew our minds.
Yeah, we were at the store just looking, and I was like, dude, it's $2 for a pint. Let's get it for, S&G. And it was actually good, which is really funny considering it's only 20% actual whiskey and the rest is grain spirits. But yeah, there's an actual profile to this. There's some flavor notes. Like, we weren't expecting anything. So if you're absolutely desperate and just need something that's not horrible for a mixer or a sipper,
Just get this.
grab you a pint of this. Like, I was ready to drain pour this. It's still here. Like, if I needed something as a daily sipper, this is going in my cup. I'll drink it on the rocks or as is. Even Grim. We both.
I should have put that on my number. Should have put this on mine.
It's on his list now.
Yep.
I don't know if it'd be in a row, but it's on his list. Let's see. If I was just going to pick some good old everyday sippers, Old Crow, Old Taylor, cheap, budget friendly, delicious. I think this is about $15, $14, $15 for a fifth. It was $14 for this entire handle. Again, both of these, thanks to Bourbon and Badges. First time we went, I tried this one because I had been seeing it in stores and I always passed on it, and they let me try it. Fell in love. Same thing with this one. We went the second time to Bourbon and Badges. They had it in their bar. I tried it, fell in love, had to go get it. Yeah, both amazing everyday sippers and budget friendly. If you're looking for a Blanton's killer, something that you can somewhat find and is cheap and delicious. Ancient 10-star. A million times better than Blanton's. I've tried Blanton's, spit it out, poured it out. This is delicious.
And at a good
amazing
price?
What was it? $15 for this?
Maybe.
I think it was like $15 for this. 15 to 17. It's not over. It's not even 20. I know that much. But yeah, a Blanton's killer. For your bottled and bond, just a good old bottled and bond bourbon.
Good old Evan Williams.
Evan Williams bottled and bond. I'm sure you'll find a million videos on it, a million people telling you, yes, get you a bottle. Great for a mixer, great as a sipper. I had to get me a bottle, and yes, it's on my list. Now, changing it up a little bit, another bottled and bond, but it's a straight corn whiskey, and it's actually been on my list probably since the day I found it.
I remember when we first brought that to Bourbon and Badges.
They kept the bottle. Had to get another one. But yeah, sweet, delicious, vanilla, sweet corn, almost like a weeded type thing going on. Amazing. Like, till the day I die, I'll be buying this. Like, everyday sipper, cheap. I think it's like $12 to $14 for this bottle. You can't go wrong. And then finally on my list is a high proof. One of my favorite all-time high proof whiskeys, bourbons, whatever you want to call it. Old Granddad 114.
Granddaddy.
I think it's somewhere around $20 to $25 for this bottle. It's one of my favorite bottles out there. It's great if you want to...
Is it really that much for that much proof?
114.
Normally I think that would be more expensive, but
Nope.
you'd be surprised.
Great if you're looking for a bottle to use as an infinity bottle because the top is huge and it's just a pretty bottle. In fact, I want to do something that we have yet to do.
What? Oh, jeez.
Get you a glass.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to make you try it. Because we have not reviewed this. They're behind you. Cabinet on the floor. Right here. Yeah, you should have worn your glasses. I should have worn my glasses. No. Case. You know they're always in there.
Okay. Might as well try it.
I've never made him review this just because it's so high, but since it is on my list.
Why not review it anyway? And see my own thoughts.
Actual full reaction to 114% alcohol.
Alrighty.
This one burns. And I'm going to forewarn you, it's got a bite.
Oh,
It hits you in the chest and the throat. Like, I know people that are in the bourbon talk community that are, like, long-time bourbon drinkers that even struggle drinking this. But I love it as a daily sipper. If I want something high proof, this is where I'm going.
I'm trying to get the sniff down.
It's absolutely delicious and it's cheap. Remember, breathe through your nose. Keep your mouth open. Mouth open.
Definitely has that apples.
I always get apples, brown sugar, a little bit of caramel. It's just a good bourbon. Nothing
If it has a little
spectacular.
apple taste, then
It's not the taste. It's burn.
Mm.
I'm warning you. How's your chest and stomach feel? Are y'all warm and fuzzy on the inside?
That's definitely a burn on the mouth.
You know you can't go by your first sip.
I know you have to do it again.
Bigger sip this time. Switch it around. All over your tongue. Now swallow. Now what do you taste? There's a it fights, don't it? That's what I was waiting on.
Yeah.
It's 114 proof.
Yeah, no kidding.
But what you think?
Oh. Damn, that's a burn.
Well,
That's a burn.
what flavors do you get?
Still, no, when I taste it, I taste oak.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But is that it?
Besides apple and brown sugar, what'd you say it was again?
Apple, brown sugar, caramel.
I'm tasting a pinch of caramel. I still wonder how this will be in as a mixer.
Oh, it's great as a mixer. I always put it in Bloody Marys.
Very nice.
I mean, you might actually enjoy it if it was on the rocks, but we just now made ice, so.
Maybe sometime I will try it on the rocks.
Finish it, Grim.
But I
Don't be wasting my bourbon. And that was his final breath. So, how did Grim die? Old Granddad 140. It bites back, don't it? So, thoughts?
definitely not getting that burn a second time, but let me see that bottle. Whew. Well, despite the burn,
It's a cool bottle, too.
yeah, despite the burn and the proof, I actually quite enjoyed it.
Okay, so let's do this. Go over there and grab the regular Old Granddad Bonded.
Ah, boy.
It's the same thing, but lower proof. We've already reviewed it before.
I forgot my thoughts on it.
That's what I'm saying. And, if you don't know, it's the favorite alcohol of choice of Bad Santa.
Oh,
This is what Bad Santa was drinking during the whole movie. When you close this, don't close it all the way. Because this lid is a pain in the arse.
oh yeah, I forgot it's a Coke.
So basically the same as the other one. This is just a little bit lower in proof. Plus, we tried this a little bit toward the beginning of your journey, so you probably changed since then. This is on my list too. I mean, of course, I love regular Old Granddad Bonded, but I don't drink it as much as I do the 114. We're just doing this as an experiment because we're already 20 minutes in. But if you can handle the 114, this should be easy. So this is just regular 100 proof. So what do you like better?
I mean, they're both good.
But what do you like better, 114 or 100?
Any joint.
They're both very oaky.
Well, of course, I could taste it.
But do you like the 114 or the bonded?
I prefer the bonded.
Okay.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the 114.
But the proof's too high?
I'll have to like slowly get used.
Or on the rocks.
Yeah. On the rocks, but I would still prefer the old 100. It just goes to show you how much I've grown with this stuff.
Yeah, because the face you made to the 114 is what you did when you first tried that. And you know what's funny? The bonded was our first review. It might not have been our first video, but if you remember when we first started doing the review, guys, and we went to the ABC store, that was the first bottle we bought. Because it was my pick.
Really?
Because I think I picked that, and I don't remember what you picked. I want to say it was probably something apple. Maybe.
Well, but it just goes to show you all how much I've grown with this thing.
Mm-hmm. So if you were going to pick a high proof for your list,
I'm probably going to pick the...
I'm guessing this would be on it?
Yep. My 100 proof for this. Yeah.
And it's a bonded, so there you go. You got a high proof and a bonded, which I don't really consider 100 proof high proof, but for Grim, it's high proof.
For me, yeah. Good old granddad. Here's the wall.
Still need to get the regular, but I've never really heard much about the regular.
Well, also, we would like to give a special mention to Knob Creek, in a way.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Not the Smoky Maple, but just...
I mean, I like Knob Creek stuff, but that's off the list just because of the price.
Just a mention. Not...
I'm trying to think, is there anything that would be on my list that I don't have? Can't think of anything.
We'll continue this later on, but hey.
Oh, yeah. It would be on my list if I had a bottle, but it's so hard to find.
What is it?
Weller Special Reserve. It's probably one of my number one favorites, but I've never been able to get a bottle. And if anybody knows, yeah. But if it was readily available, that would be like my special mention or whatever. Honorable mention. If it was available and not allocated. But yeah, that does it for me.
Yeah, me too. Okay. That's our top whiskeys.
On to the next feature.
Yes.